So I'm going to jump into a game here with the intention of picking unpopular augments. Basically augments that aren't played very often. Okay, so here we go. Completed Anvil, Prismatic Finale, and Loaded Carousels. Loaded Carousels is my favorite one. Shurima Bazaar from set 9, if you remember that. Just an extra component on each champion in the carousel. We'll just let everyone decide once again what to play. Looking more likely to be completed Anvil so far. Loaded Carousels. That's pretty good. Usually when you play loaded carousels, you want to slam your items as early as possible and just play tempo. You usually don't care about best in slot. At least that's not how I play it. I prefer to just slam items, save HP, go level 8, play a strong board, go level 9 if possible. Now we do get drop deluxe here, so maybe I could hard force Lux again. But I'll think about it. The tricky part about playing EDM Lux is that if you get dropped Lux early game, it's kind of awkward because she's pretty bad. But if you could get a full 3-star board going, it's actually pretty good. But it takes a while to get there, so I think that's why people don't play EDM Lux. It's just too hard. Looks like we get dropped more gold here. Gonna pick this up for a backline carry. Still don't know what our headliner is. I did not pick up the previous one because Vi is a terrible unit. So let's just play this and see what our board's gonna be. Hopefully we hit a decent headliner next round. We're also gonna find out what our 2 items are over here, so we can get a little bit more direction on what to do. Okay, Cloak. Rod. Kind of a weird start, actually. Okay, so unpopular augments. I'm going to take a look at the number of games. So MetaTFT here says that Long Distance Pals is the least common one. So let's reroll and see if there's a least common one or a less common one. Stationary Support, very common. Contagion, very common. Cybernetic Uplink. Okay, so picking Long Distance Pals. As for headliner, we get a true damage cannon, which is actually quite good. So let's play this on our board. And let's just carry Lux. I know she's not really that good early game, but let's play EDM Lux with Long Distance Pals. That seems pretty good. Also, our items look pretty good for EDM Lux, so that's why I'm considering playing it right now. Now I'm definitely going to lose this fight. These 2 units are don't have a lot of damage. This guy's pretty tanky. Bard does drop 1 gold though because he knows we're smurfing, so he has to make this unfair as possible. We hit nothing in our shop here. Let's sell and make 10, and let's see what everyone else is cooking. Looks like Heartthrobs, but doesn't have Heartsteel in. Magic Rod. Evelyn. The person we just lost to. No headliner. Olaf. Disco, no headliner. It's pretty interesting. Now I expect myself to loss streak because Lux really sucks without EDM, but maybe Bard can do a little bit of damage on the board. It's actually pretty funny because Bard does more damage than Lux. Lux is extremely bad without EDM. I also kind of did not want to win that. I guess LDP is too broken. We get another true damage unit here. We're gonna play the Echo on the board just to give a little bit more frontline. We could also play 3 Superfan, like this here. Maybe I could put a little bit of faith in Lux, but I do feel like this is stronger. because Bard actually does single target damage. Okay, so this is gonna be our board. We make 10 gold anyway. LDP is giving this guy a little bit of AP. So yeah, let's keep our board like this. So Bard's gonna be our item holder for Lux. So once we get to level 7 or 8, we will roll and yeah, get the EDM board going. So we are second pick here. I'm looking for something like Rod, Glove. So with Lux, you just want AP items and 1 mana generation item. I think we'll go for this Jax here because I have Belt for a frontline item and then Tier for the Shojin. And then we'll just finish our items later when we get dropped the rest of the components. So let's drop 3 Superfan. Let's play 2 EDM. Put this on Lux. We're still gonna make Bard our carry though, because we're gonna move the items over later. So we're just gonna put Shojin on him. Let's actually LDP this guy. And let's make 20. Gonna wait and see if I win this round. If not, sell this Lilia here. I can't stress enough how much you don't want to put items on Lux if she doesn't have her traits in. You really do need EDM, or else she'll cast probably like 2 times the entire fight and do nothing. Interesting choice here. Could sell this Echo and make 30, which is what I think I'm gonna do. But we'll see if we win this next round. If we win this next round, we don't have to sell the Echo. We could hold on to it, sell this Lilia instead. Let's scout. Heartsteel. Edgelord. Disco. Still no headliner. That person's definitely committing to Disco because they have the Augments. Also looks like we're getting a free win this round. So we'll sell the Lilia, make 30 gold. Last time when I played EDM Lux, I rolled at the level 8. I think this time I'll roll in 7. Just to show you what you should stabilize on. So it looks like only 1 win streaker in this entire lobby. Everyone's streak is either broken or... I'm assuming everyone's streak is either 3 or lower, except for this person. So this is kind of looking like a kind of low tempo lobby. Usually when there's 2 or 3 streakers, that means it's going to be very high tempo. When no one's streaking, or maybe like 1 person, it just means that the rest of the lobby is going to be relatively equal in terms of power, but nothing too crazy. Sell and make 40. I'm gonna make 50 here, just sell these 3. So it looks like we're gonna hard commit to Lux now, because we have 2 Luxes already. Seems pretty good to me. So let's level here, just play another Jax. I don't know what else to play on my board aside from that. Let's also slam Dragon's Claw because it's a frontline item, good enough. Let's also place the belt on Kennen. So we're gonna push level 7 and then roll for the EDM board. This person looks pretty strong. That's a headliner Twitch. Last Whisper. Gonna lose this fight, but I think it's by 2 units. 2 unit loss maybe. Yeah, 2 units. That was pretty close to a 4 unit loss though. Alright, Augments. Vampirism, extremely popular. Rich Get Richer Plus, extremely popular. Heavy Hitters, only 800 games. Let's reroll and see if we get any less common ones. Alright, so it looks like we're gonna take Heavy Hitters. no one on our team can actually utilize this, but once we hit 3-star units, we'll actually be able to make use of this augment. So essentially, I'm down an augment right now, because literally nobody on my board is benefiting from this. But I think this will scale really well with LDP, so we'll just reach our power spike later. Let's scout one more time. These people look like they have pretty strong boards. So we're just gonna sack HP until level 7, and then roll down for the EDM Lux board. Hopefully this Bard can do a lot of single target damage, kill a few units. But for this fight, we're gonna take a lot of damage because they have healing orbs. If you're wondering what the EDM comp should look like at level 7, it's this here. Just play the 4 EDM units. If Lux is EDM +1, then you play just 1 extra Dazzler, so you can either play Bard or Twisted Fate. We also hit the 2-star Lux here. We also get this Bard Headliner, which I'm actually going to take. So let's sell this. Let's just play a random frontliner. Maybe like Riven, whatever. Dragon's Claw. Put the Shojin on this guy. Move the items over. So anyway, as I was saying, the comp should look something like this. Play the 4 EDM units. If Lux is EDM +1, you play 1 extra Dazzler for 2 Dazzler. Then you just play any frontliners. So Zac, so you play something like Set. Then you can play like 2 Guardian. This is level 7. So if you go level 8, you just add in an extra Guardian, something like this. Also, I didn't watch my board get absolutely demolished, but yeah, this person looks very strong. This is what your board should look like at level 8, something like this. Or you could also play 2 Sentinel, you play Blitz and Echo. Just generic frontliners with the EDM units. Now as for item here, let's go for Glove and Cloak. Let's finish this JG. And then this cloak can be Stone Plate. Could also be Adaptive Helm or Spark. Just any cloak item that's frontline. Now I wouldn't recommend sacking so much HP for this comp. You actually still want to play a pretty strong board. I'm just not doing it right now because it's silver. You don't really get punished for it. I do need a frontliner though, so I'm gonna roll just a few times here. So we hit set. Let's sell that. Let's roll one more time. Okay, double set. So we'll play something like this. Yeah, it looks pretty good to me. 3 Jazz maybe. This seems pretty good. We'll make this. Put the cloak on this guy. Now the last item I'm thinking of is probably Guard Breaker. Because double crit item with Lux EDM is actually quite good. But if we don't get Guard Breaker, we'll just make this belt into a frontline item. We're only severely losing fights right now because our frontline is really, really bad. But we'll fix that when we go level 7. We also hit the Zac here, which actually is a pretty big spike. So let's sack this last round, and then we'll roll down for the board at 4-1. Let's also quickly scout. 5 Heartsteel. Edgelord with no headliner. Disco with no headliner. That's a pretty interesting, actually. For Lux EDM, you pretty much always want JG, because her ability gives her a little bit of crit. And then they made the change where if you put JG on a unit that can already crit, they still benefit from it. So it's a pretty good item to have. Without crits, I usually see that she's pretty inconsistent. So we'll just, yeah, whenever you play EDM Lux, you pretty much always want to have JG on her. So next turn we'll level, and we'll roll for the board. Belt. So we did hit the guard breaker. These are actually really good items. Alright, so let's play this frontliner here. And let's start rolling. We hit the 2-star sets. So this should be good for now. Gonna make 30 here, actually. We'll just do this. They'll make stone plate and warm-ups. Now I'm not going to try to sell this Bard Headliner until I get at least Headliner Lux. So, gotta wait to transfer the items over. The mid-game tank you want to play around in this comp is Set. He's a very, very good tank that you want to put your items on. Although if you hit 2-star Zac pretty early, it's also quite good. Alright, so Augments. Cyber Bulk, very popular. Can't take that. Heroic Grab Bag. Cannot take that. Three's a crowd. So let's reroll tons of stats. Pretty close, so we'll have to take three's a crowd. It's actually not the worst in this comp, because we have Set, Echo, Lux at the moment. So yeah, let's build some econ, and then we will sell the board. Roll for EDM Lux. This three's a crowd thing is actually pretty good, because it helps my team hit heavy hitters as well. And then it just gets more LDP value. These augments actually synergize well with each other, surprisingly. But how good is it? Let's find out. So as you can see here, as soon as we hit the 2-star sets, we start stomping fights, because the problem with our early game board was our front line was very bad. We just didn't have a front line. So when you don't have a front line early game, that's pretty much what happens. You get destroyed in fights. Let's play this Blitzcrank for 2 Sentinel. So yeah, this is what your board should look like at level 7. If this was EDM Lux, this Bard would be itemless. And then you basically just play this. Like, this, pretend this Lux is a headliner. You play Bard. If Lux is a 2 Dazzler, then you don't play another Dazzler, and then you just play another frontline unit. That's usually how I like to play it. I'm gonna sell this and make 50. Looks like this person's also trying to go EDM. So I think next turn I'm gonna go all in, look for 3-star Lux. Pretty high chance of hitting, because like the comp is, with the backside changes and how headliners work, it's actually not extremely difficult to hit 3-star Lux. As long as you have a good econ, you could usually hit 3-star Lux pretty easily, as long as you're uncontested. If other people in the lobby are playing 3-cost reroll, then it becomes a lot easier to hit as well. Now as for item here, I think I would go for either this Lux, just to hit 3-star Lux a little bit easier, or I could take Static Shiv to make her do more damage. I think I'll just take the Lux. So we have another Dazzler unit. We can just put the items on them. We'll see. We'll see what we hit. Alright, so let's sell. We have to be quick. Lux. 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 This is going to be another game where I don't hit Headliner and Lux. Hit a Sona pretty early. Well, that's not looking very good. But maybe next turn we'll hit it. Maybe I should have checked if half the Luxes were out of the pool. Maybe that's why I didn't hit the headliner. Or maybe I'm just that unlucky and I just low rolled. Who knows? Next turn I'll check. It's kind of my fault for not scouting though. Also, it looks like this set is too tanky. We're just gonna win this fight. So let's check how many Luxes are in the pool. I have 7. So let's see. Eight, 9, 10, 11. Okay, yeah, no wonder I couldn't hit Lux. Maybe if this person dies this round, I'll be able to roll next turn. So, yeah, let's not put the items on anyone yet. Or we could also just do this. Like a temporary item holder. Should have probably played Ari instead, but whatever. This is a very, very scuffed game. But sometimes, that's what you gotta do to make some pretty silly content. I don't recommend doing this in your ranked games. Like if you're actually trying to climb, don't do this. If you natural in an EDM Lux and you have these items, then I recommend playing it. But don't try to force it. It looks like the person holding the Luxes is dead, so we can roll next turn. Or after Krugs, I mean. Or Raptors. Okay, let's sell this. We'll just econ here. And then make our board. Hopefully we hit the Lux. I guess that's another important thing too. If you're trying to play a reroll comp and you're trying to hit a headliner, make sure that there's enough in the pool. If half of the units are out of the pool, then you cannot hit the headliner for that unit. So it's kind of my fault for not checking. We get a duplicator, some gold. So let's roll. There we go. So it's a Dazzler version, so we'll sell this. We'll play Zed. So 4 EDM is actually not even that bad. It's it also did get buffed, so like 4 EDM is definitely acceptable when you're playing. We'll just LDP these two. And yeah, let's just make Zed items. Make IE. If we hit Kiana, we'll level up and play Kiana at level 8. Otherwise, my next in is probably just like another frontline unit, so Thresh. Pretty much whatever frontline unit I hit. So an important thing too is when you're playing EDM Lux, you have to scout. You want your carry to be on the opposite side. So here, let's see. Doesn't matter where I position here, this guy's extremely weak. So we want to position our Lux here for this guy, so we'll snipe this Lux first, then snipe the Twisted Fates. Here, we want to position our Lux on the left side. So I'm going to move the Lux over, and then move the set over as well. We'll just place these two guys in the middle, like this. Now since this is silver, this is also pretty easy because no one really moves their units. So yeah. That's how you get away with this type of stuff. So once EDM procs, she'll snipe at this Twisted Fate here. Yeah. So when you have combat augments like LDP, heavy hitters, your Lux can actually just one-shot their backline carry. This comp was actually quite good during the Fast 9 fiasco, because if people didn't stabilize off of Fast 9, you can just snipe their backline carry. That's why if you look at my match history on my main account, I was playing a lot of EDM Lux. I was basically doing this strategy, and it was actually working out pretty well. A lot of people just don't expect people to play Lux that often, so when you snipe their backline carries, you kind of just catch them off guard. So it looks like our carry is on the correct side. Lux always wants to be opposite side of the enemy carry. So as you can see here, she'll just snipe the Kayle, and the Kayle will just die. Just in case you don't know what EDM Lux does, pretty much she has her own mana bar, which is what she uses to cast. That's why I recommend a mana regeneration item. And then she also casts with EDM, so every 7 seconds, she also casts her spell. Pretty much all EDM champions do that, but yeah, that's pretty much like the whole point of it. You want her to just cast as many times as possible. Balance the damage and then balance like all the crit stats, everything. I think this is best of slot for her. You could argue other items too. But we're gonna take Kiana here, so maybe we can farm some items. So we're gonna level up, play the Kiana. 2 crowd diver, 2 true damage. So yeah, this is looking pretty good. Now we could just LDP Kiana and Lux at this point. But you do get more value with the set because of the armor and magic resist. Put this on Zed. Put this on Kiana so she gets the bling bonus. And yeah, hopefully she can farm some items for us. Lux is positioned on the correct side. Now when it comes to positioning against melee units like edgelords, you just want to position Lux where she's less likely to be attacked when your front line goes down. So usually, again, opposite side. Looks like here, she's struggling to take down this Viego who's healing a lot. But she'll whittle him down eventually. And we win this fight. Procced last stand for the player there. So yeah, at this point, I'm going to roll forward 2-star Zed, 2-star Blitzcrank. It's also very important I hit my upgrades here because I also have heavy hitters. So they benefit off of that as well. 2-star Blitzcrank. Let's try to hit it. We also hit this, which I'm going to replace next round actually. Scout real quick. Yeah, no one in silver actually moves their units, so I probably don't have to worry about scouting. So here, Lux will beam this other Lux here. Then she'll target the Twisted Fates. Then she'll target the Ziggs. He pretty much doesn't have a backline carry. And with Dazzler, if she doesn't one-shot them, then 2 Dazzler usually takes care of them anyway. That's why I really love this comp. It's pretty funny. You just snipe their backline carry. You tilt the other person like crazy. They don't really feel like playing anymore. But this comp is kind of hard to play, so if you don't know what you're doing, then I recommend you try your best to do other stuff. Like, learn how to position, learn how to roll for the comp. I usually just greed really hard. But like I said earlier, I don't really recommend doing that. But you could do it if you want. In this comp, I usually think 1-star Alawi is better than 2-star Set. Just because you get the tentacles. But I could be wrong. I actually don't know which one's stronger. Usually it just feels like 1-star Alawi is better. But 2-star Set is also pretty good. So let's roll for a 2-star Blitzcrank. Pretty weird how we're not hitting. Carries on the right side. Item. Edge of Night for Kiana. Seems pretty good to me. So yeah, that Lux just... Yeah. Lux is basically just saying you're not allowed to play the game. If you position it correctly, you have your Lux like this. If they're playing backline carries, they're just not allowed to play the game. Pretty much how it works. Now the reason why I didn't try to go level 9 there was just because the game's almost over, so we'll just spend all of our gold. If we don't hit Blitzcrank, we'll just use the duplicator. There we go. Maybe we could hit 2-star Kiana? No? Well, rest in peace duplicator, I guess. So this turn, we'll just roll. You also do have to be careful because this person's playing Heartsteel, so they could actually outscale us if they survive long enough. But we are positioned properly here, so yeah, let's hope we win this fight. He also frontlined their Ezreal, apparently. I actually don't know what that does, but he just teleports away though. I'm pretty sure Zed cleans up here. Yeah, okay, so it's the first place. So as you see there, we went from 100 HP to 36, and then we just stabilized the rest of the game. That's pretty much what you want to do with this comp. So yeah, that's EDM Lux with lowest picked augments. LDP, heavy hitters, 3 to crowd. Pretty uncommon augments, a lot of people just don't take them. But surprisingly, these 3 augments are actually pretty good together. But the chances of you hitting all 3 of these and playing a game like this is probably very unlikely. But if it ever does happen to you, it's a pretty strong board. So there you go, that's another EDM Lux game, this time kind of showing you how to actually do it properly. The previous EDM Lux game was kind of a scuffed version of it. But hopefully you learned something from this one as well. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.